Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and welcome to Global Atheist News Roundup, dateline the 25th of May 2024. We're streaming a day late due to our London event yesterday. This week's headlines. Iran's president was killed in a helicopter crash. Students from the University of Milan eject Pro Hamas supporters from their tents. Louisiana designates abortion pills as controlled substances. A former Sussex vicar is charged with historic child sex offences. Plans to merge Charlotte Sharman School, which has no religious character, with the Church of England primary school have been scrapped. Atheism UK and the Origins Project staged Changing Minds in Changing Times 24. Here is the news in detail. Iran state media says President Ebrahim Raisi was on board a helicopter that crashed last Sunday night. The 63-year-old hardline cleric was laid to rest in the holy shrine of Imam Reza, a revered figure in Shia Islam. TV pictures showed large crowds gathered in one of the northeastern city's main streets ahead of the ceremony. 7 other people died in Sunday's crash during bad weather in Iran's mountainous northwest. They include Raisi's foreign minister, Hossein Amir Abdullahian, 60, who was buried on Thursday at the Shah Abdul Azim Shrine in Ray, a southern suburb of the capital, Tehran. Acting President Mohammed Mokber, who will serve until an election is held on the 28th of June, was present there to make preparations for the burial. Millions despised Raisi for overseeing the deadly crackdown on the Women, Life, Freedom protests that erupted in 2022, a year after he took office. He also faced calls for an international investigation into his alleged role on the Death Committee, which ordered the mass executions of political prisoners back in the 1980s. His time as president will also be remembered for a deepening economic hardship and an unprecedented direct military confrontation with Israel last month, which raised fears of a regional war. A female student who took part in the protests 2 years ago told the BBC, "People are so happy. Most of them are wearing white or bright colours and smiling at each other. The image they keep showing to the world is that we're all sad, that we loved him, but it isn't true." She added, "Today, when I attended my classes, there was a big banner of his face in the university's main hallway. All the students would show the middle finger to his picture." The student also said the streets of Tehran were full of security patrols to deter protests or celebrations. Hadi Ghami, the director of the US-based Center for Human Rights in Iran, advocacy group, said Raisi's death should not be exploited to further crack down on civil society. Raisi was a pillar of a system that jails, tortures, and kills people for daring to criticize state policies, he said. His death has enabled him to escape being held accountable for his many crimes and the state's atrocities committed under his rule. Iranian authorities say they are still investigating what caused the helicopter crash in which he died. Officials have said that the aircraft, a decades-old US-made Bell 212, hit a mountainside as it flew to the northwestern city of Tabriz in fog and heavy rain. The president's death is a difficult issue for us, but the Iranian nation will turn this bitter incident into an opportunity, he told the Speaker of Lebanon's parliament, Nabi Berri. Raisi was close to the 85-year-old supreme leader, who is the ultimate authority in the Islamic Republic, and was widely seen as a potential successor. "Go back to your Muslim countries," said students from the University of Milan as they kicked out the Pro Hamas supporters from their tents. See this video. Louisiana looks set to become the first US state to designate two commonly used abortion pills as dangerous controlled substances. Anyone possessing mifepristone and misoprostol without a prescription could face jail time and thousands of dollars in fines. A bill to redesignate the pills, which are also used for miscarriages and ulcers, was passed in both chambers of the state legislature. Abortion advocates fear this will now see other states crack down on the most used method of abortion in America. The Controlled Dangerous Substances designation is typically reserved for medications including Valium and Xanax. The bill would also ban their possession without a valid prescription, punishable by fines or even prison time. The two drugs were approved for use for up to 10 weeks of pregnancy by the FDA in 2000. When used, a patient is first given mifepristone to induce an abortion and then misoprostol to empty the uterus. Misoprostol has been available by prescription separately for decades as a treatment for stomach ulcers and to manage postpartum hemorrhaging. The bill originally focused on making it a crime to give a woman abortion pills without her knowledge. Classifying them as a controlled substance was added later. Most abortions are already illegal in Louisiana. The bill would further restrict access to the drugs, which are used in more than half of all abortions in the United States. Anti-abortion groups have praised the legislation, but many doctors have raised concerns, highlighting other crucial uses of the medications outside of abortions. And some abortion rights advocates say the bill, if passed, could serve as a model for other states hoping to further restrict the procedure. In a statement on social media earlier this week, Vice President Kamala Harris called the bill unconscionable and blamed former President Donald Trump, who appointed many of the judges to the US Supreme Court that overturned the national right to an abortion, known as Roe v. Wade, 2 years ago. The US Supreme Court is expected to rule on national access to mifepristone in the coming weeks. It's the most significant abortion case before America's top court since it overturned Roe v. Wade. A former Church of England vicar has been charged with rape and gross indecency of a boy aged under 14. Ifor Whitaker, 80, is alleged to have carried out the offences in the late 1990s, Sussex police said. At that time, he went by the name of Father Colin Pritchard at St John the Baptist Church in Sedlescombe, according to the police. Officers appealed for anyone with information that could help their investigation to contact the force. Mr. Whitaker has been remanded in custody and is due to appear in court on the 10th of June. Proposals by the Church of England to take over a secular school in South London, which would have merged Charlotte Sharman, which has no religious character, with a Church of England primary school, have been scrapped. The resulting school would have been a voluntary-aided Church of England faith school at the insistence of the local diocese. The school would have been able to legally discriminate based on religion in admissions when oversubscribed. It could also have discriminated in the hiring, promotion, and salary setting of staff. The successful campaign to prevent this happening was led by the National Secular Society. An intimate version of the Changing Minds in Changing Times event was staged in a Greenwich pub by Atheism UK and the Origins Project. Videos will follow. Apologies for this bulletin being a day late. We were heavily involved with the live event in East London, which celebrated Lawrence Krauss's birthday, unexpectedly. Consequently, there was no Free Thought Hour show. Yesterday, our cameras were in use at the event. But there will be a Views on the News panel show spinning off from this global atheist news. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for watching.